we are building a dining table, a double as a gaming table.
So, a few months ago, I built a gaming table for our house. When I built the table, I built two tops, okay? This one here and the actual top that I built, the original table, right? So this was the first top that I built, and I had to redo the top because my husband the mat that he placed inside of the table, and this size here was just like 1 inch less. I know, I have to redo the entire thing just because it was 1 inch less of the mat that's gonna be inside. So I had this top here for since then, okay? And now I had a very good opportunity to get rid of this top. And pretty much going to be like the same size, the same design. I'm going to try to add a few different things to make it more interesting for this video. But it's going to be pretty much very close, similar to that one. So anyway, let's get started.
So since the top is already built, kind of built, I'm going to skip that part. And if you want to watch how I build the top, you can go back on my original gaming table and watch that, because I think you're going to love the video because it was really, really nice. The wood, I'll be using mostly strips of white oak, a bit of walnut, maple, and cedar. I'll be using Douglas fir for the base since we'll be painting. The top was made using 1/2 inch plywood. The first thing I wanted to do was to figure out if I wanted to do any patterns and if I had enough wood for this, which I have. Hi, so now that I kind of put all the scrappy wood that I think would be enough for this project, of course, if I needed more, I can just pick up more and bring it here. I'm not going to attach them directly to here because I feel like we'll be sagging in the middle because it has spaces in the middle. So my goal is, since I'm doing this with scraps, I'm going to get some 1/2 inch plywood, because then since this is 1/2 inch plus 1/2 inch plywood, I think it will be strong enough and will give a little bit of thickness. It will be about 1 inch, maybe less, because I still have to sand a lot. As you can see, has a lot of burn marks on this piece of wood. So I'm going there in my junk pile, pretty much, and see if I can find some 1/2 inch plywood. I don't have like a full sheet or anything like that, so I do have a lot of little scraps that I think I can make work. Let's see if I can find anything. Once I was able to find some 1/2 inch plywood to make the top stable, I had to cut to the right size using the table saw. If you're not using strips for this part like I'm doing here and you're using 3/4 inch wood, you can skip this section. I couldn't speak. I met that good last night and he shook my hand in the end and said, "You ain't got me losing you. What you gonna do about it?" Once I nailed everything into place, I came with the filler, applied, and left overnight to dry. The next day, I came back, sanded everything nicely, flipped the box upside down, sanded some more, and then painted the underside. So I paint this table. I just gave like a 1 coat of primer, but after I painted, I noticed that I have a few spots that I didn't use the wood filler, which is a mud, when I cover the bad spots. So now that I can see, I'm going to wait to dry, and then I'm going to patch a few other things that I missed, and then behind the scenes I'm going to sand and then prime again that little spot, and then tomorrow hopefully I'll be back here to start painting. Okay, so yeah, it's the underside of the table, but I want it to be nice. Hey, I'm the one to kiss, so you ain't gonna lose me. What you gonna do about it? I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hit that bottle. At this point, my nephew was getting impatient to have this table. So with the shop freezing most of the time with the weather, I was not feeling like being in the shop, to be completely honest. So I skip a few things. I decided to skip the jointer and the planner, and I wanted to try an organic look for the table base. I was between painting and working on the base at the same time. For the base, I'll be using pocket holes to put them together because I want it to be easy for them to take apart if they need to. I assembled both sides because I wanted to hide the screws holes with a filler, and the stretches I will leave open, just make sure to not let the holes visible. I installed 3 supporters for the top stretch, but later on I removed them because I had to adjust the length of the base and I didn't think I needed one. Then I laid all the strips of wood with the glue and a pin nailer. For the sides, I wanted to do something different, and I decided to use some cedar board. First, because I love the smell of cedar, and I love the way cedar looks once it's all sanded and smooth. I wanted to share that I'm challenging myself to only use what I have in the shop in terms of wood. I didn't buy any of this. I think it was a great opportunity for me to clean some of my wood pile, and in the end, it doesn't even seem like I even touched my scrap pile at all. But I have a lot of scrappy wood projects for this channel that I hope will help me clean at least a big part of this garage. Stay tuned, and if you are enjoying this video, smash the like button and subscribe to my channel for more woodworking and DIY videos. To install the cedar, I added tons of glue and bright nails. Don't let this quick footage of me sanding fool you. It took me 3 days after work to get this all sanded and smooth. For the side corner, I used my biscuit jointer to add that cut. I forgot to adjust the height and I had to do 3 cuts instead of 2 cuts. But I wanted to try something totally different, and instead of using a thin piece of wood to do like an inlay, which is probably what you want to do here, I decided to fill the gaps with mud because I wanted to be white. I could do epoxy, yes. I have wanted to do this experiment for a long time to see if it works. This gaming box turned out to be 49 inches wide, just like my original table, and the plywood top that I'll be using is 48 inches wide, which means 1 inch bigger. So you have a few options that you can do, but like my last table, I decided to sand in an angle and add an interesting edge. I felt like the way I sanded made more interest than just add a piece on the top. Then I sand some more. I add some water to raise the grain. Then behind the scenes, I sanded more to make it smooth to the touch. Then it was time to add my clear coat. I went with water-based polyurethane because the white portions and the white edges, and this will help avoid the white from turning yellow. In my next video, I'll be sharing about the wood finish that I use and I love, so stay tuned for that. I applied 3 coats of finish in everything, the top, the base, inside, outside, everywhere. Light sanded between coats, and once it was dry, I came back and added 1 coat of wax to add even more durability. I polished. And here's the final piece. I cannot wait to see my nephew's reactions. I hope they enjoy this project. Thanks for watching.